Okay, we are going to call the Committee on Ways and Means meeting back to order. And members, we have gathered tonight to do a long list of work session bills. And the first one on our agenda for tonight is Assembly Bill 15.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 15 was heard by the committee on March 8th. Assembly Bill 15 provides an increase in the annual base salary of district judges every 6 years based upon the cumulative percentage increase in the salaries of classified employees of the state. Existing law sets the annual base salary for district judges at $160,000, and if a district judge serves for at least 4 years, they are entitled to an additional salary of 2% for each year of service, not to exceed 22% of their annual base salary. During the hearing, the Administrative Court's Office has identified a fiscal impact beginning in fiscal year 2027 with an annual increase of salaries of approximately $2.5 million and a biannual impact of $4.3 million. Madam Chair, there are no amendments recommended with this bill.
Thank you so much, members. Any questions? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Assembly Bill 15.
And a second? Second. I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Anderson. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously of the members present. And I will assign the floor statement to Assemblywoman Kasama. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, it's Assembly Bill 16.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Brody Leiser. Assembly Bill 16 was heard in the committee on March 8th and prescribes the manner for increasing the base salaries of justices of the Nevada Supreme Court and judges of the Nevada Court of Appeals. Assembly Bill 16 provides for an increase in the annual base salary for justices of the Nevada Supreme Court and judges of the Nevada Court of Appeals every 6 years based upon the cumulative percentage increase in the salaries of classified employees of the state. Regarding the fiscal impact, the Administrative Office of the Courts has identified a fiscal impact beginning in fiscal year 2025 for the increase in costs from salary increases for eligible judges and justices. The impact in fiscal year 2025 is $86,113, and the estimated impact in future biennia is $1,210,504. If with the fiscal impact for this bill, Madam Chair, an amendment, the committee could consider an amendment to add a general fund appropriation of $86,113 in fiscal year 2025 to the state judicial elected officials budget account. And the motion then would be to amend and do pass.
Thank you, members. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will accept a motion to amend and do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to amend and do pass Assembly Bill 16.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblyman Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries with unanimous of the members present, and I'll assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Peters. Moving on, the next item on our agenda is Assembly Bill 46.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 46 was heard by the committee on May 17th. Assembly Bill 46, as amended, eliminates the requirement for the Administrator of the Office of Historic Preservation of the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources to place and maintain historical markers on all public lands and private lands. Instead, AB 46 requires that the Administrator of the Division of State Parks of the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources be responsible for the installation, interpretation, maintenance, and protection of all registered historical markers. There was one fiscal note related to this piece of legislation for $10,000 for the Department of Transportation. However, they have indicated that they can absorb that fiscal impact, and as such, there is no longer a fiscal impact associated with this piece of legislation.
Members, any questions or comments on Assembly Bill 46? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to do pass as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 46.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadagi. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes of the members present, and I will assign that floor statement to Assemblyman Miller. Members, the next item on our work session agenda is Assembly Bill 77.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Brody Leiser. Assembly Bill 77 revises provisions governing economic development, was heard on May 17th. Assembly Bill 77, as amended, creates the Office of Entrepreneurship within the Office of Economic Development to strengthen and grow entrepreneurship in the state, provide technical support for entrepreneurs, and serve as a point of contact for businesses that have not been in business for more than 5 years in their interaction with state agencies. Initially, the Governor's Office of Economic Development had submitted a fiscal note indicating that it required just over $396,000 in fiscal year 2024 and just over $355,000 in fiscal year 2025 to support 3 positions, including an administrative service officer for program management, a management analyst for program management support, contract management, and analysis of the program, as well as an administrative assistant for administrative support. The bill was presented by Speaker Yeager, and during the bill hearing, the Governor's Office of Economic Development confirmed that it was able to remove the administrative assistant position, therefore reducing the fiscal impact to $531,738 over the biennium. And that would leave funding for the Administrative Services Officer and the Management Analyst position. So, Madam Chair, if the committee chose, the motion here could be to amend the bill to add general fund appropriations of $249,626 in fiscal year 2024 and $269,153 in fiscal year 2025 to support the 2 positions and associated costs within the Governor's Office of Economic Development. And the motion would be to amend and do pass as amended.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leiser, for that. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will accept a motion to do pass as amended and add to it the amounts for FY '24 and FY '25 as stated by our fiscal staff.
Madam Chair, I'd move to amend and do pass as amended Assembly Bill 77.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Peters. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in, oh, Assemblywoman
I
Casano?
know we're going fast. I just wanted, I love the idea of it, but I just feel like we have multiple offices now for entrepreneurship, the other small office in business and industry and the governor's office. And so I would rather that this was just contained within one of those, so I'll be a no on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Raise your hand if you're a nay. I have Assemblywoman Dickman, Assemblyman Hafen, Assemblywoman Kasama. And the motion does carry. And I will assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Anderson. Moving on with our work session agenda, the next bill is Assembly Bill 135.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 135 was heard by the committee May 16th. The Assembly Bill 135 as amended requires a homeless person who wishes to obtain a certified or official copy of a certificate of birth from a person or government organization other than the state registrar to submit a statement signed under penalty of perjury that the person is homeless rather than a signed affidavit, and prohibits such a person or governmental entity from requiring that such a signed statement be notarized. Existing law requires that the Department of Motor Vehicles waive not more than one time all fees and costs associated with the issuance of an original duplicate identification card to a homeless child or youth less than 25 years of age. Section 4 of this bill removes the limitation that such fee of costs may be waived only once, thus requiring the department to waive all fees and costs for the issuance of any identification cards issued to homeless children or youth less than 25 years of age. The DMV did submit a fiscal note on the original bill of $101,692 in 2024 and $457 in fiscal year 2025. That had to do with the implementation date of the particular legislation. However, the DMV did confirm that if the implementation date was moved to January 1st, 2026, that would take care of the fiscal impact associated with this, since they would be able to implement these changes into their new system. And the sponsor of the bill confirmed that she was in agreement with that, so long as all the other sections of the bill remained with an October 1st, 2023 start date. And with that, Madam Chair, that is the only portion of the bill that requires amendment.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions or comments? Assemblywoman Peters, do you have a question?
Thank you. Yeah, I was looking at the AB 135 page, and there is another amendment on here to add the 988 line to the bill as well.
I apologize, Madam Chair. Yes, that is correct. There was another amendment that was submitted to revise NRS 3881335 to read that the Board of Trustees of the school district of the governing body of a charter school shall ensure that information relating to mental health resources, including without limitation the number for National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988 or any successor number appear on the back of any identification card issued to a pupil at a school within the school district or charter school.
Thank you for that. Members, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, then I will entertain a motion to amend and do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to amend and do pass as amended Assembly Bill 135.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadighi. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I will assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Brown May. Moving on to the next item on our work session agenda, and that's Assembly Bill 140.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 140 makes Juneteenth Day a legal holiday in the state. This bill was presented by Assemblywoman Thomas on April 20th. Assembly Bill 140 makes Juneteenth Day a legal holiday in Nevada rather than a day of observance. The measure further requires that Juneteenth Day is to be observed on June 19th or the Monday following if June 19th falls on a Sunday, or the Friday preceding if June 19th falls upon a Saturday. The measure makes a conforming change to account for the closure of state, county, and city governmental offices for Juneteenth Day. There was a fiscal impact identified by the Division of Human Resource Management, and that was a cost of $482,924 in each fiscal year over the 23-25 biennium, and those were estimated costs associated with holiday premium pay for employees that may be required to work on the proposed holiday. As these costs would be incurred within the state agency budgets for these employees, they may be able to be covered under vacancy savings or other savings. And so there's no amendment to address the fiscal impact, Madam Chair, with Assembly Bill 140.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, and Mr. Leiser, did you have any amendments to the bill other than the one that was presented during the hearing, correct? This is a first reprint.
I don't believe there was any additional amendments, so I believe the motion here would be to do pass as amended.
With that, I, thank you. And with that, I will accept a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 140.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadighi. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously of all the members present. And we'll assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Thomas. Moving on to the next bill on our work session agenda, it's Assembly Bill 147.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 147 was heard on May 19th. It amends or makes various changes relating to dentistry. The measure sets forth various requirements for the provisions of service through teledentistry, requirements to meet before providing services through teledentistry, including the requirements that the dentist, dental hygienist, or dental therapist who provides services via teledentistry is a patient located in this state by a license and licensed in Nevada and adherable to the applicable laws, regulations, and standards of care to the same extent when providing services in person. Additionally, the measure makes hospitals and issuers of the plan that provide coverage to recipients of Medicaid, including managed care plans, to take certain measures to improve the access of recipients of Medicaid to teledentistry. Assembly Bill 147, as amended, provides for the issuance of a special endorsement by the Board of Dental Examiners of Nevada to a licensed dentist, dental hygienist, or dental therapist to administer immunizations as set forth and certain requirements for the administration of immunizations by holders of such endorsements. The Board of Dental Examiners of Nevada did have an original fiscal note of $55,250 in fiscal year 2024 and $50,000 in fiscal year 2025. However, upon the first reprint, the Dental Board confirmed that they were able to remove their fiscal note, and so there is no fiscal impact for this bill. There are no amendments, no further amendments.
Thank you. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, then I will entertain a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 147.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Heidegge. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we will sign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Marzola. The next item on our work session agenda is Assembly Bill 239.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Brody Leiser. Assembly Bill 239 makes various changes relating to government administration. This bill was presented by Assemblywoman Heidegge on May 24th. Assembly Bill 239, as amended, creates the Merit Award account in the State General Fund and provides appropriations for the administration of the Merit Award Board and funding for merit awards. The bill requires the Advisory Council for Family Engagement to submit to appointing authorities a list of persons who are qualified for membership on the Advisory Council under certain circumstances, revises the membership of the Committee for the Statewide Alert System, authorizes additional duties and authority of the Committee on Testing for Intoxication, requires the Chair or Commissioner of Insurance to carry out certain duties of the Appeals Panel, revises provisions relating to the membership of the Medical Laboratory Advisory Committee, and clarifies provisions relating to meetings of the Credit Union Advisory Council, and eliminates the requirement that council members are entitled to receive a salary. The fiscal impact with Assembly Bill 239 is Section 15 appropriates $3,000 from the State General Fund to the Merit Award Board to fund the administration of the board. And Section 16 appropriates $25,000 from the State General Fund to fund awards during the 2023 to 25 biennium. There were no additional amendments to the bill. And so, Madam Chair, the motion here would be to do pass as amended.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, then I will entertain a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 239.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Heidegge. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we will assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Gorlow. The next item on our work session agenda is Assembly Bill 277.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 277 was heard by the committee on April 20th. It establishes a rural emergency hospital as a unique type of medical facility licensed and regulated by the State Board of Health and the Division of Public and Behavioral Health of the Department of Health and Human Services. The board must adopt regulations for the licensure of rural emergency hospitals, which takes into consideration the unique problems of operating such a facility in a rural area. The department may apply for a waiver or an amendment to the state plan for Medicaid to receive federal funding to increase reimbursement rates for rural emergency hospital services. Finally, Assembly Bill 277 authorizes the division to issue an endorsement as a crisis stabilization center to a rural emergency hospital if certain requirements are met. I would note that the bill, as originally introduced, had a fiscal note from the Division of Healthcare Finance and Policy of $71,292 in fiscal year 2024 and $10,852 in fiscal year 2025. And the agency testified that that amount could be absorbed with their existing resources. In addition, the Division of Public and Behavioral Health estimated that it would cost $112,267 in fiscal year 2024 and $130,000 in fiscal year 2025 in future to support two part-time positions, including one administrative assistant and one health facility inspector for rural emergency hospital licensures, duties, and inspections. However, during the testimony provided in the hearing, the committee had indicated that they had confirmed that this would be a replacement of a workload at the HCQC rather than a new workload, and therefore they testified that the fiscal impact to the bill could be removed. And so with that, Madam Chair, there does not appear to be any additional fiscal impacts that the committee needs to address or any additional amendments.
Thank you. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, then I will entertain a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 277.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblyman Hafen. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we'll assign that floor statement to Assemblyman Koenig. Moving on to the next item on our work session agenda is Assembly Bill 299.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Brody Leiser. Assembly Bill 299 creates the Nevada Medal of Distinction. This bill was presented by Speaker Yeager on May 24th. Assembly Bill 299, as amended, creates the Nevada Medal of Distinction and the Nevada Awards and Honors Board. The board is to be composed of 5 members appointed by the governor, and its duties include, in part, establishing a suitable design for the Nevada Medal of Distinction and the requirements for determining whether a person has made a significant and lasting contribution to the state. The medal must be awarded annually to 2 people, one who is living and one who is deceased, and both having made a significant and lasting contribution to the state. On or before January 1st of each year, a selection committee composed of 9 members must be appointed. Each member of the selection committee shall nominate one person who is living and one person who is deceased for the medal. Regarding the fiscal impact, the Office of the Governor had initially indicated there was a fiscal impact but could not be determined relating to travel and ceremony costs, design and production costs of the medals. However, during the bill hearing, it was confirmed that the governor's office had removed their fiscal impact, or that the cost could be absorbed. There were no additional amendments proposed for AB 299. Madam Chair, the motion would be do pass as amended.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, then I will accept a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam,
Motion-
Madam Chair, I would move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 299.
It says second. I have a motion from Assemblywoman Bacchus and a signed second from Assemblywoman Hodgie. Any discussion on the motion?
Permanent second.
Seeing none. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we'll assign that floor statement to Assemblyman O'Neill. All right, moving on. It's going to be a long night. Next bill on our agenda is Assembly Bill 328.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 328 was heard by the committee on April 3rd. It appropriates general fund appropriations of $500,000 in each year for a total of $1 million over the 2023-25 biennium to the Immigration Clinic at the William S. Boyd School of Law at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, for the purposes of providing pro bono legal services related to immigration law. With regards to the fiscal impact, there is the $1 million appropriation that is included in the bill, and so there are no amendments that are proposed with this piece of legislation.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions on Assembly Bill 328? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I would move to do pass Assembly Bill 328.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Bacchus, a second from Assemblywoman Hodgie. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, nays, go ahead and raise your hands. I have Assemblywoman Dickman, Assemblyman Hafen, Assemblywoman Kasama, and Assemblyman O'Neill. And the motion does carry. And we will assign the floor statement to Assemblyman Watts. Thank you. The next bill on our work session agenda is Assembly Bill 345.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Brody Leiser. Assembly Bill 345 revises provisions governing the commerce tax. This bill was presented by Assemblywoman Considine on May 24th. Assembly Bill 345 removes real estate investment trusts and qualified real estate investment trust subsidiaries from the entities excluded from the definition of business entity, thus making the annual commerce tax applicable to all real estate investment trusts and qualified real estate investment trust subsidiaries whose gross revenue earned in the state during the fiscal year exceeds $4 million. The Department of Taxation had identified a fiscal impact of $25,376 in fiscal year 2024 and $12,749 in fiscal year 2025 due to costs associated with their Deputy Attorney General, resulting from an increase in appeals and work related to promulgating regulations. However, during the bill hearing, the Department of Taxation did clarify that the AG cost allocation plan is billed in arrears, and therefore costs resulting from this work would not be realized until a future biennium. Therefore, there is no fiscal impact for the committee to address through the bill. And there were and are no amendments on Assembly Bill 345.
Thank you so much for that. Members, any questions or comments? Assemblyman Hafen?
I was just going to say, in the policy committee, I was a no, but since the fiscal note has been removed, I will be a yes out of committee in ways, but reserve my right for the floor.
Thank you for that. Any other comments? Assemblywoman Dickman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to reserve also, but I'll be a yes.
Thank you so much. With that, I'll entertain a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I move to do pass Assembly Bill 345.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadighi. Any other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. We have a nay from Assemblyman O'Neill. The motion does carry, and we will assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Cassadine. Next on our agenda is Assembly Bill 389.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee heard Assembly Bill 389 on May 18th. Assembly Bill 389 requires the Director of the Department of Health and Human Services to apply for a waiver of certain provisions of federal law governing Medicaid for the purposes of providing certain Medicaid coverage for incarcerated youth and incarcerated persons with certain health conditions for not more than 90 days before their scheduled release. The Division of Healthcare Finance and Policy originally identified a fiscal impact of $982,780 in fiscal year 2024 and $928,463 in 2025. However, during the bill hearing, the Division of Healthcare Finance Policy did update its fiscal notes and identified that the amounts would be revised to $817,909 and for a total of $1.9 million over the biennium. However, they indicated that they could cover that cost with the opioid funds, federal portion of it, and so the committee would not have to provide any general fund appropriations for this piece of legislation. So, Madam Chair, there are no amendments that are recommended.
Thank you so much. We'd like to hear that we're getting things covered and no fiscal impact. Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, then I will accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I would move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 389.
I have a motion to do pass as amended from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadighi. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we'll assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Peters. Members, the next item on our agenda. One moment. All right. Next item on our agenda is Assembly Bill 399.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Brody Leiser for the record. Assembly Bill 399 creates the Subcommittee on Education Accountability of the Interim Finance Committee. This bill was presented by Speaker Yeager on May 25th. Assembly Bill 399, as amended, creates the Subcommittee on Education Accountability of the Interim Finance Committee, which must meet at least once every 6 months to discuss, evaluate, and make recommendations relating to the accountability in public education in the state to improve educational achievement and outcomes for pupils. The subcommittee may also conduct investigations in connection to its duties and compel the attendance of certain individuals at a meeting. The subcommittee consists of 5 members of the Assembly and 3 members of the Senate to be appointed by the Speaker of the Assembly and Majority Leader of the Senate. The chair of the IFC shall appoint the chair and vice chair of the subcommittee. Regarding the fiscal impact, the Legislative Council Bureau has indicated there would be no fiscal impact. Initially, the Department of Education had identified a fiscal impact for the cost of a part-time management analyst position. However, during the bill hearing, the Department of Education did testify and following the hearing submitted a revised fiscal note to remove those costs, indicating that they could absorb the costs associated with any work that there may be. There were no additional amendments to the bill. Madam Chair's motion would be do pass as amended.
Members, any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass as amended Assembly Bill 399.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Heidegge. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries with unanimous vote of the members present, and I'll sign myself that for statement. The next bill on our agenda for the evening is Assembly Bill 460.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 460 was heard on May 22nd and revises the definition of the term nursing pool to only include a person or agency which provides through its employees or by a contractual arrangement with other persons infusion or private duty nursing services to a natural person. This bill also exempts from that definition a nursing pool providing staff from a medical facility or facilities for the dependent, a licensed private employment agency, and a licensed professional employment organization. This bill exempts such entities from licensure and regulation as medical facilities. I would note that this is a budget implementation bill and relates to the healthcare facilities regulation budget. There was a decision unit E225, which was approved by the money committees, resulting in the reduction of healthcare facility licensure fees of $343,048 over the 2023 biennium. According to the agency, this change would reduce the entities identified as a nursing pool to only those that are critical to being regulated by the healthcare quality and compliance. I would note that there was, at the hearing, a friendly amendment that was requested by Ferrari Reader Public Affairs. And that amendment would be to Section 1, Subsection 2, to include the following exemption. Any entity working through an electronic platform of other means that facilitates the contracting or hiring of a healthcare worker as described in NRS 449.0153, subsection 2A, with a medical facility if the healthcare worker is not an employee of the entity facilitating the hiring of the healthcare worker, and the medical facility sets the terms of hiring or hourly rates of the healthcare worker. So, Madam Chair, the motion would be to amend and do pass. As amended.
Thank you, members. Any questions or comments? Assemblywoman Anderson.
Thank you so much, and my confusion continues even after the explanation. And I was stopped in the hall earlier today about this, and so I just want to verify that the individuals that are hired, it's not only the company itself is licensed, but also the nurses are also licensed through the Nevada Department of Health. I don't know if there's anybody that's here that can actually answer that or not, but I just want to make sure that those individuals that are working in the hospitals are also licensed appropriately, not just the company that is providing them.
I don't believe that's a question that staff can answer. Do we have anyone from the Department of DHHS that could answer that question? We have no one in the room at this time that could answer that question. One moment. Members, because of the question from our colleague, we are going to pull this one, remove it from the work session until we can get an answer, and then we'll move forward with it. You are welcome. Okay, moving on to the next item on our agenda, and that is Assembly Bill 461.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Brody Leiser for the record. Assembly Bill 461 revises provisions relating to the public employees retirement system. This bill was presented by the Public Employees Retirement System on April 20th. Assembly Bill 461 creates the position of Chief Administrative Analyst as a member of the executive staff of the Public Employees Retirement System. The bill would implement the budget decision made by the money committees on April 15th, 2023 to create this new position as part of the PERS budget closing. So this is a budget implementation bill to create that position. There were no amendments proposed for Assembly Bill 461.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions or comments on Assembly Bill 461? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Assembly Bill 461.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Heidegger. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously of the members present, and I'll assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Backus. Our final bill on tonight's work session is Assembly Bill 462.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 462 was heard on May 22nd. The bill amends NRS 213 to establish the position of Executive Director within the State Board of Parole Commissioners. The Executive Director is appointed by the Chair of the Board and will be delegated authority and responsibilities of the Chair, what the Chair deems necessary for an efficient conduct of the business of the Board. With respect to the fiscal impact, there was no fiscal note included in Assembly Bill 462. However, this is a budget implementation bill. There was Decision Unit E 380 in the Parole Board budget, which included costs to hire the new Executive Director position and was approved by the Money Committees on May 1st with general fund appropriations of $244,740 over the 2023-25 biennium. Madam Chair, there are no recommended amendments, and so the motion would be to do pass as amended.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to do pass as amended.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Assembly Bill 462.
We have a motion and a second. The first is from Assemblywoman Backus, the second from Assemblywoman Hadigi for a do pass on Assembly Bill 462. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes, and we will assign that floor statement to Assemblyman Hafen. Members, we're going to go back to Assembly Bill 460 for a work session. We have received an answer to the question asked by Assemblywoman Anderson, and I will turn it over to our fiscal staff with that answer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Sarah Kaufman, Legislative Council Bureau Fiscal Analysis Division. To answer the previous question related to the licensure of the nurses, one of our analysts reached out to the Department of Public and Behavioral Health, and they had indicated that nurses would still be licensed by the nursing board.
Assemblywoman Anderson, does that satisfy your question? Perfect. Thank you. And seeing that there are no amendments on this bill, are there any other questions? Seeing none, then I will accept a motion to amend and do pass because there was a conceptual amendment that was presented at the hearing.
Madam Chair, I'd move to amend and do pass Assembly Bill 460.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadigi. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion carries, and we'll assign that floor statement to Assemblywoman Gorlow. And that was our last work session for tonight, and I think we've done a lot of good work today. We won't come back for a third round. We will not tonight. No, because we still have floor. Yay! All right, so with that, we are adjourned.